Good morning, everybody. It is 8 o'clock this morning in the office here in Wellington. Bit of a windy, wild day here in Wellington. Not as bad as it can get, but worse than some others. Listen, the policy areas I want to just talk about today now, just shifting from those early years, and I think it's probably worthwhile repeating that some of the work we're doing away from the education portfolio, but really as consultation around our social services spokesperson, our education spokesperson, spokesperson for women, and those sort of things, is better supports for family. Better recognition of parents as first teachers of children and how to support families, parents as first teachers, to interact and grow and basically understand the learning that takes place before children come into the either the recommended early childhood education pathway or the compulsory school sector. So there's a lot of other policy areas that we're working on there, or that I have articulated under that family space, under the social services space, and there's more to come. So I want to be clear, while we have made some direct comments around those early years and education, or an education style facility in those early years, we're also doing more work on supporting parents and families to be the first teachers of their children. I don't know any other way to put that. So that's first thing. The 3 bullet points from the early childhood area that I want to talk about this morning give greater focus to the second strategic goal with Ngā Huarahi Arataki to improve the quality of all ECE services. So basically what we've seen by this government and their push to put children into early childhood education is quantity over quality, and that just doesn't work. So there needs to be quality services all the way across New Zealand. We want to review the adult to infant, the under 2 staffing ratio in ECE centres as an urgent health and safety matter. So that's really in childcare centres. So that's babies. It's the number of adult to baby ratio we're very concerned about, and we want to review it immediately should we get into a place of influence. And we would restore the requirement for all early childhood providers to ensure that the 100% registered teacher staffing ratio is achieved. And to do that, we need to fund it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We understand that that early childhood trained, qualified and registered teachers who can come from many heritage backgrounds, and with our workforce planning inside our tertiary policy, we believe that we will identify more clearly how many ECE teachers we need from particular cultural and heritage backgrounds, so that we can make sure we have that workforce coming out into the workplace as soon as possible. And that some of that thinking came out of the Pacifica Languages Inquiry from last Parliament. So what we heard was from many of our Pacifica communities, they wanted early childhood provision that contained some of their heritage language. Now, we're not going to go as far as the Greens with regard to a response to that, but we are aware that children who have access to their heritage language do better across their educational journey. So we believe that our workforce planning lever inside our tertiary policy would identify how many ECE teachers with specific skills we might need, as well as having them 100% trained and qualified, because we don't believe that it's necessary to trade off a trained and qualified teacher and registered teacher for a language. We believe that any heritage culture is quite capable of providing our society with fully registered, qualified, trained teachers who also have a heritage language. Because to believe anything different is nonsensical. So those are the 3 bullet points for today, and I'll probably finish off on the early childhood bullet points tomorrow. I've started to carve some large areas out of the policy section, and one of those, for example, is the provision around children with special needs and educational challenges. So, because that's a lifelong journey, so it's really about making sure that what we have tailored from the cradle to the grave is actually all connected up. So I'm working on that piece of policy, which will run alongside education policy in New Zealand. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.